Inspector Gag had been on the hunt for a serial killer for a long time now. The killer had claimed more than 30 victims to date and was still at large. His latest victim, Bob, was killed last night. While investigating, Inspector Gag reaches the killer's den. There was no one around, but the inspector notices some letters scribbled on the wall.
What can this possibly be?
Gag thinks to himself. He immediately calls Detective Mayhul. Mayhul carefully observes the letters on the wall, which appear to be a pattern.
Oh, look, there is something else.
He exclaims as he walks towards the end of the wall and finds pictures of 3 girls. Mayhul instantly decodes the murder pattern and figures out who the next victim would be. Can you guess the answer? Let's hop onto the answer. Look at the pattern ABA, the word has 3 letters, and the last victim was Bob, who also had a 3-lettered name. The next pattern is ABBA, and in the third photo, this girl is named Anna. The number of letters in her name matches the number of letters in the pattern, hence, Anna is going to be killed. Mayhul beats the killer to the crime scene and successfully saves Anna's life. Now, let's go on to the next riddle. A beautiful dolphin statue was placed over a fountain in New York's garden. One day the statue was stolen. Everyone flocks near the fountain. Inspector Gal was close by, so he immediately went inside and asked the people who were in the garden at the time. The first man says,
"I'm in a rush to go to the office. I have to go quickly. I haven't stolen anything."
Second man says,
I just came here to jog, and I don't know anything.
I was just playing with my dog.
says the third man. The fourth guy says,
I was having coffee in the Gardens Cafe. I don't know either.
The fifth man says,
I'm waiting for my girlfriend. I don't know anything.
Inspector Gal soon realizes who must have committed the theft. After hearing them all, how did he find out? Can you think about it and tell me? Let's hop on to the answer. Because the dolphin can only be removed by crossing the fountain, and the fifth man's feet are wet, which means he crossed the fountain. With this, Inspector Gal realizes that the theft was committed by him. Let us now proceed to the next riddle. Proman Store was the largest and the most reputed sports store in the city, but it had also become a crime hotspot. Numerous robberies had taken place at the store within a span of 2 months. Moreover, the shop was always so crowded that catching the thief became an impossible task. One day, the store manager, determined to catch the thief, and begins watching the CCTV footage. He instantly understands who the culprit was. Who is it? Can you tell by looking at this CCTV footage? Think carefully and comment your answer. Let's see the answer. The boy wearing a green t-shirt is the robber. Check out this boy's t-shirt in footage 1 and footage 2. He was stealing items by hiding them inside his t-shirt. He immediately gets caught. Let's hop on to the next riddle. 2 men worked in a coal mine. They both wanted to keep their faces clean. There were no mirrors inside, so neither of them could see their own faces. One washed his face at regular intervals, while the other never washed his face. Nonetheless, both of them always felt like their faces were spotless. How is this possible? Think about it and tell your answer by commenting. Let's see what happens. When the first man saw the face of the other, he always saw a clean face. So, he thought that their faces were not getting dirty inside, and he did not wash his face. When the second one saw the first one's face, it was always dirty. As a result, he was under the impression that there was a lot of dirt inside, and he kept washing his face every now and then. So, one man's face was filthy, while the other's was nice and clean. Let us now move on to the next riddle. In a cave, Rhea gets trapped. There are just 3 doorways through which she can leave. Behind the first door, she'll burn because there is acid. If Rhea tries to enter through the second door, a large weight behind it will fall on her, crushing her. If Rhea enters the third door, there are man-eating lions waiting to devour her. What will Rhea do now? Which door is she going to pick? Think about your answer and then comment. Let's see the answer. Ria took her time and came up with a fantastic idea. She removed her sandal and threw it through the second door. As soon as the weight was released, Ria walked out of the cave safely through door 2. Let's move on to the next riddle. Detective Mehul learns that a criminal has escaped from prison and is now at the London airport. Mehul rushes to the airport and begins searching for him. He has doubts about 3 people: August, Ayman, and Ben. August says,
Sir, I'm off to New York. I traveled to London for business. Here's my business card.
Ayman says,
Sir, I am from London itself. I study in New York and now I'm returning to college.
Ben says,
Sir, I am also from London. I am going to Norway for vacation.
Mehul doesn't get any hints from talking to all 3, so he scans their luggage and immediately realizes who is lying. How? Can you tell by looking at their luggage? Let's see what happens. Ben had mentioned that he was going to Norway, but he had no winter clothing with him. This simply tells he was lying. Mehul catches him. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Rambo is the biggest don in the world. Police forces from all over the world are after him. Every other gangster is looking for him, but to date no one has been able to even get close. One morning, while Rambo was reading the newspaper in the garden, 4 gangsters arrived. And one of them shot him. No one knew who. Detective Mehul arrives at the crime scene and immediately arrests all 4 gangsters. All of them try to defend themselves and convince Mehul that it was not them. But Mehul figures out who must have fired the bullet. How? Think carefully and comment your answer. Let's see the answer. Mehul touches their guns. Whoever's gun is hot is the one who fired. Mehul catches him. I think this video deserves a like for Mehul's brilliant move. Let's go on to the next riddle. It was a beautiful, windy day. People went out boating because it was also a public holiday. There were 5 people in a boat. They were having a good time, singing songs and having fun. Suddenly, strong winds begin to blow.
What's happening?
All of them shout in unison. The boat breaks down due to a blind storm. They somehow managed to reach an island. On the island, there is nothing to eat or drink. They had a rough day and now there's nothing around to eat. Suddenly, everyone notices a banana tree. However, there are only 3 bananas on the tree. How will 5 people eat 3 bananas in equal portions? Pause the video and think and tell me your answer by commenting. Let's see the answer. They will cut each banana into 5 pieces. 3 bananas will be cut into 15 pieces. As a result, 5 people will eat 3 pieces each. It was simple, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next puzzle. The patient in bed A has been admitted in the hospital since 3 years. The patient in bed B has been admitted in the hospital since 5 years. And the patient in bed C got admitted in the hospital just a while ago due to COVID-19. Looking at these 3 patients, can you identify the mother of this child? Think and help me know your answer in the comments. Let's check the answer now. The child might not be older than a year. Patient A and B have been in the hospital for 3 and 5 years. They cannot be his mother. The mother of this child is patient C. For more such riddles, subscribe to our channel. Dhamaka Singh attempted, but failed to break the prison bars. But then, his attention turns to the side lock. He will, however, require a code to open the lock. Can you guess what the code could be? Pay close attention to the clues, and leave your answers in the comments section. Frog is made for the hint, and the spelling of frog is F-R-O-G, and if you match the letters and the numbers, you'll get F1. R708 and G2, hence, the code will be 1782. Damaka Singh opened the door by entering the code and escaped from the prison. He begins to run towards the exit. He was running when his eyes were drawn to a nearby table. He was hungry, and his stomach was rumbling, so he thought,
I should take something to eat.
Damaka Singh had 4 options for food on the table. There was cereal, spaghetti, soup, and some burgers in a large bowl. Start thinking and tell me which food would be best for Damaka Singh right now. A, B, C, or D? Tell us your answer in the comments section. Now, Damaka Singh can't just sit there and eat. He has to flee. And while fleeing, he can only eat one thing, and that is a burger. He grabs the burger and sprints towards the exit. There are 3 doors as he approaches. Observe all 3 of them and tell me whether he should run towards A, B, or C. The guards on gates 1 and 2 have guns, so passing through them would be extremely dangerous, while the guard on the 3rd door only has a stick. Damaka Singh could easily fight him and escape. Damaka Singh fights the guard at the 3rd gate before fleeing into the jungle. Let's hop on to the next riddle. Let's test how good you are at math. If the cost of 1 chocolate and 1 water bottle adds up to $110, and the cost of the chocolate is $100 more than the cost of the bottle, then tell me, what would be the cost of the water bottle? Let us know in the comments below. Let's check out the answer. If your answer came out to be $10, then you are wrong. If the bottle costed $10, then the cost of the chocolate would be $90 more, not $100. Take the cost of the bottle as X to solve the equation. Since the bottle is X and the chocolate costs $100 more than the bottle, the chocolate become X plus 100, and their total is $110. Then the equation becomes X plus 100 equals $110. 2X equals $10. Hence, X equals $5. This means that the bottle costed $5 and the chocolate costed $105. Let's jump to the next puzzle. Mehul's house number changes on a regular basis, and so does his pattern. His house number on Monday was A202. It was C404 on Tuesday. And it was E606 on Wednesday. So, think about it and tell me what Mehul's house number might be on Thursday. Think carefully, and if you need more time, you can pause the video. Let's have a look at the answer. The alphabets are increasing alternately. A, C, E. So the next letter will be G. And the numbers are rising by 202. 202, 404, 606, so the next number will be 808. Therefore, the house number will be G808. Let's move on to the next riddle. Ronnie goes on a vacation for a week. When he returns from the vacation, he finds that his house has been robbed. He immediately dials Detective Mehul's number and tells him that he has doubts about his 3 friends, Sam, Jimmy, and Rachel. Mehul questions all 3 of them. Ginny says,
I went to the mountains for a week, so how can I do this? Check out my photos.
Rachel says,
I went to a beach for a week. See my photos.
Sam says,
I was in the deserts. I wasn't even in the city this week. Please look at my photos as well.
Mehul instantly recognized who was lying after observing the photos. How? Can you tell by looking at the images? Tell us your answer in the comments section. Come on, let's have a look at the answers. In Rachel's photo, the kite is flying in the opposite direction of the ship's flag. How is this possible? Because both will fly in the direction of the wind. That's how he recognized she was lying. Mehul was going for a morning walk. Suddenly, he notices a very thick wire hanging from an electric pole, electrocuting a man. Mehul runs for help and starts looking for anything non-conductive, because the current was very high voltage, and if Mehul tries to help him without it, he will be shocked as well. But Mehul couldn't find anything non-conductive. Finally, Mehul decides to take a step forward and hit that person with a drop kick, causing that person to fall away from the electric wire and become safe from the current. Mehul wasn't shocked either. Can you explain why Mehul was not shocked and how he saved that guy? Think carefully and tell me your answer in the comments section. We only get shocked when we are connected to the ground, which means we can hang on the world's thickest electric wire and not get shocked if we are not connected to the ground. You've probably seen two lovebirds sitting on electric poles without getting shocked. That is why Mehul jumps and drop kicks the person who is being shocked, saving both himself and the person. Amber was working alone today, so she was simultaneously watching the counter and managing them all. Accidentally, a kid drops a chocolate box, leaving chocolate all over the place. Amber collected all the chocolates and put them inside the box. She returned to the counter and saw that someone has taken all the cash from the cash counter and that a letter with the words,
I'm the thief. Catch me if you can.
has been left behind. There are only 3 people present in the mall at the time. Can you identify the potential thief after looking at them? Take your time and think. Come on, let's have a look at the answer. If you look closely, you can see that the thief left the pen on the left side after writing the note. Thus, the thief is left-handed. There are currently only 3 people in the mall, and it's just the guy in the middle who is left-handed because he is the one holding the bottle with his left hand and drinking the water from his left as well. Ronnie never misses any opportunity to play the lottery. Once, his lottery ticket number matches the $1,000 lottery number.
I am the lottery winner!
After seeing the prize money, Ronnie gets overly excited. He calls his boss right away, abuses him, and quits. Plus, he orders countless stuff for his house. He returns home and loads the washing machine with all of the laundry. After that, he places a huge food order from a restaurant and invites all of his friends to a party. All of them had a great time. Following the event, Ronnie hangs himself. But why? Comment your answer in the comments section. Come, let's have a look at the answer. If you paid attention, Ronnie dumped all of his laundry to washing machine when he arrived home, but forgot to take the ticket out. Along with the clothing, the lottery ticket was washed. Ronnie hanged himself as a result. Look at this picture carefully. Who do you think is poorer, A or B? Think and let me know your answer in the comment. Man B is rich but still thinks of himself as poor. A person should be rich by heart, not by money. So, according to me, man B is poorer.